The middleweight division in the UFC has been on absolute fire, and I mean that in the best way possible for 2025. And when I saw that Imavov versus Braujo got announced a month ago, I thought literally to myself, it couldn't get any better than this. But my friends, it does. RDR versus Anthony Hernandez is going down literally a month later, and the division is cooking. It's a literal battle of who can be really deserving of the number one contender spot. It literally reminds me of the face the pain kind of days, okay? We have so many guys on multiple win streaks, and they're all duking it out, trying to outperform each other to earn their next shot at the new champion, someone who has potential to go down as the middleweight GOAT, Khamzat Chimaev. So we're really building up a contender for him, and I love it. I love this main event. Imavov versus Braujo. Again, at the time when it got announced, I thought it was a great fight, but this, I sound like fucking Thanos. I don't know what the evil laugh was. I sound like Thanos when he's peeking off after doing the snap and he's looking at the universe and everything is calm, okay? That's how I feel about this main event. And on top of that, okay, Vancouver itself is stacked. We got Marlon Vera versus Ayman Zahabi, Kevin Holland versus Mike Mallet, Azamat Bakoyev. He's on the card as well. And Chowiwi's is getting an opportunity in the top 10 against Rob Font. Now, this fight got rumored about a month or two ago. It got kind of shut the fuck down, though, but apparently it's going down. It's coming from very trusted sources that Noche UFC really needed a big fight like this, and that's what it's getting. And on top of that, I'm out of breath just from all these great fight announcements, okay? Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson going down for UFC Rio. So October, I mean, if you didn't already know, the two pay-per-views that were going down, the lineups are looking really good there. For at least now, it's going to continue to get added to. My point is with this, we're going to be going over all these new fight announcements, and October has the potential to be the best fucking month as a UFC fan in the history of time as a fan. Whether you started a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 plus, it doesn't matter, okay? We're eating good this month. We struggled at first for the big old 2025, but now we are cooking. If you thought the summer was good, it's getting even better. So today I'm going to be giving y'all my early predictions and a bit of an early breakdown for these big fight announcements. So let's start off with the Vancouver main event, okay? Kind of got passed around. It was going to be Gary versus Brady, and then it was going to be another fight, I think Umar versus Batista, and it finally came down to this. And I like this fight better than both of those. This is a good fucking main event here, man, and two guys who are worthy of duking it out for a number one contendership spot. It puts extra pressure on Braujo and Imavov as well, because there was a 50% chance that fight could have been an overly patient, overly technical kind of battle. Really not a lot of risks, not a lot of urgency to finish, okay? But now that this fight has been made, there's urgency for that fight. So I feel like out of all four of these guys, we're going to get the best of all of them. They're all at different points in their careers, but RDR, literally the S-tier goofy goober, okay? The next Dricus Duplessis in line versus Fluffy Hernandez, the middleweight Marab. Hey, guys, I am now Mexican and I have eaten Aljamain Sterling. I am now a middleweight. That's what Fluffy Hernandez feels like, okay? The dominance in the grappling and just the way he has cardio for days, the way that he literally has humiliated ranked opponents like a Brandon Allen or a Michelle Pereira or a fucking, who was the last guy he just beat the hell up? Roman Dolidze, that's it. So Anthony Hernandez is already, he's on a fantastic win streak, and I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard a statistic that no fighter for the UFC ever in the middleweight weight class has earned their way to a title shot with more than an 8-fight win streak. Fluffy Hernandez is on an 8-fight win streak, so if he beats RDR, earns his way to number 9, and that's already setting a record. And on top of that, RDR is a great top 5 win. Fluffy Hernandez, he's very impressive, like the cardio, the grappling, the striking's improving. It's not obviously his first or second choice in his fucking arsenal to use on guys, but it's solid enough to hang possibly with RDR, who's kind of in a similar position to where he relies on kind of the grappling, the clinch work. He has really nice knees to the body. He has solid pop behind his shots. He probably has arguably a little bit better striking than a guy like Fluffy, but we're comparing fucking apples to kind of oranges on the spectrum here, because RDR striking, you know what it is, okay? He kind of slips accidentally into a fucking finish. He's got goofy striking on the feet, but the power is there, and I feel like that the finishing ability from both these guys is insane. They have good cardio. RDR's going life and death with fucking top 5 Robert Whittaker, and Fluffy Hernandez is embarrassing guys who are training their entire life to become champions in the UFC. So at the end of the day, only these guys combined in their whole pro careers only have 4 losses. So you're not going to dispute if this is high level or not. My prediction, man, I don't even know. I mean, I would honestly lean towards Fluffy Hernandez right now, but I could totally see RDR winning, okay? RDR is just goofy enough, just powerful enough, and just, I feel like if there is going to be anything that benefits him, it is the experience difference, because yes, Fluffy Hernandez, he's making quick and efficient, not quick work, but he's making very efficient work of these guys in the UFC that are ranked, and especially pretty much most of the guys are all the guys on his fucking win streak. He's just improving even more. He's only 31 years old, and again, the striking is improving, and he already is establishing that he has fantastic fantastic grappling and wrestling to make a guy like Chimaev kind of a bit worried. Not necessarily worried, because he just fucking dominated DDP for 5 rounds. I'm still scarred to death, okay? But my point is, it's a compelling matchup because it kind of counteracts the things that make Chimaev so good. And RDR, you could say, just like a DDP, he's very similar in style, but Chimaev just fucked up DDP. And again, Chimaev and DDP made more efficient work of a guy than Robert Whittaker. And maybe that's a power thing, maybe it's a finishing ability thing, but we all know that RDR can rack up a lot of fucking finishes. So I feel like he proved against Whittaker that he can hang in a dogfight. We already fucking knew this, but hang in a dogfight against a guy who's elite enough, a guy who's well-rounded, a guy who has a lot of top-level UFC experience. So RDR proved that he's deserved of that top 5, and Fluffy's trying to crack it. So it's so unpredictable for this fight. Like, is it gonna be one of those things where it's a grappler versus grappler and it's gonna cancel out and it turns into a striking battle? I'd probably favor RDR, but I want to see if the grappling, the USA wrestling that just he fucking ragdolls guys to the fucking mat, and Anthony Hernandez, I want to see if that big bad USA wrestling, he can kind of redeem himself from a Bo Nickel. But that's the thing, Fluffy Hernandez's wrestling is so much more meant for MMA than a guy like Bo Nickel, who's so stuck in the ways of the big bad USA wrestling, the point wrestling, and there's nothing wrong with that, but in the UFC there kind of is, because RDR fucked him up. I feel like Fluffy Hernandez presents a different kind of wrestling, a different kind of pressure and heavy pace, and just better experience, just better wins. Like, Fluffy Hernandez would beat up Bo Nickel 10 out of 10 fucking days, at least right now. So Fluffy, I'm such a big fan of him, and for me, I don't know about my fellow Americans, but I'm having a hard time trying to invest in certain USA fighters right now. There's not too many to really be invested in besides a Joaquin Buckley here and there, but Fluffy Hernandez, I'm a big fan of this guy, and I fuck with the goofiness of RDR as well. And I want to say this about RDR, active as fuck. Active as all fuck. Is this his 4th fight this year? I'm pretty sure. Beat up Kevin Holland in January. Beat up Bo Nickel in May. Finished him as well. Both those guys. And then in fucking July, beating up Robert Whittaker for a war. So the activity of RDR is no joke. And Fluffy Hernandez, I'm pretty sure this is his 4th fight within a calendar year as well. 365 days. Both these guys are active as fuck. I think it's going to be a very high-paced scrap. Very heavy pressure coming from both guys. And I feel like it's going to end in some kind of finish. I feel like Fluffy kind of builds into the fight a bit more. He's a bit more slow in that first round, and then the wrestling prowess, the strength on the ground, the dominance, the repeated trying to get the fight to the ground, and most of the time he's dragging you down there, usually wears on guys. But with RDR's high level experience, his good clinch work, his good defensive grappling, and again, the guy has solid cardio to maintain a heavy pace and drag Fluffy into a dogfight, and he's arguably got the striking advantage here, and he's got brutal fucking knees, some brutal fucking elbows, and he's got the reach and height advantage, and he's a little bit older to where that experience can help him. I love this fight, dude. It's so fucking unpredictable. I'm fucking salivating over what the betting odds are gonna be because I'm trying to get plus money on neither of these guys. I'm leaning towards Fluffy. Love this fight. I think it's fantastic for the middleweight division, okay? Cheweewees! I'm so sorry that y'all just had to fucking hear that. Cheweewees! Cheweewees is getting a shot in the top 10, and I got mixed feelings about this. On one hand, okay, it's just, I don't want to be a Joe Rogan as a purist. I mean, I love the Apex, not trying to be that fucking guy, okay? From a pure stylistic point of view, from the pure point of view of, is this an interesting fight? Yes, it is. I feel like it's going to be a good fucking scrap, and Rob Font is an A-tier gatekeeper, and Rosas Jr., I understand that he is a bit of an infant. I understand he looks like the fucking Gollum. I understand there's a lot of things to kind of shit on the guy for, but for how young he is, man, it's crazy how good he is. His grappling is fucking legit. He has a really good submission game, and on top of that, he only has 1 loss in the UFC, even though he's like 20 fucking years old, okay? The dude was born yesterday, and now all of a sudden he's fucking here. Getting a spot in the top 10, it's a bit controversial because you could say he doesn't deserve this. Yes, he's 5-1, I believe, in the UFC, but does he really deserve a Rob Font? I mean, this is his first shot in the rankings in general for Rosas Jr. And Rob Font, man, like I said, I'm not just saying he's an A-tier gatekeeper to fucking joke around, okay? He really is. He's only losing to the guys like the Sanhagens or the Figueiredos, like the very elite, the top 5 or the top 7 kind of area of the rankings. If you're anybody else or your fucking mother, Rob Font does not discriminate, okay? He's putting on full violence against anybody who's outside that top 10, and he's very consistent with it, and he just beat back-to-back prospects who I believe are even more experienced in the UFC. Whether they're as good or how they would do against Rosas Jr., I don't know, but he's beating back-to-back prospects, and Gene Matsumoto, who just got a good win over Miles Johns, and who the fuck was it before that? It was Kyler Phillips, who, yeah, he looked kind of rough against Vinicius Oliveira, but still, Rob Font, even though he's reached Grunkle stand status, even though he's getting up there in age, he skips from fucking regular show for the bantamweights. I think that the guy is developing into becoming more well-rounded. I believe he's training with Sahabi, Faraz fucking Sahabi, okay? Not to push on my fake hardcore glasses here, but that shit matters, man. Rob Font, he's consistently winning and he's consistently beating and losing to, I feel like, a very similar level of competition. And I don't think at this point in Rosas Jr.'s career, for as good as the takedowns are and the submissions are and the guy can kind of hang in a bit of a dogfight, I just don't think he has the experience yet, the necessary skill set yet, and the necessary striking. I don't even know. There's a little bit of question marks as well. Like, how durable is he against a guy who can crack like fine? Does he have a speed advantage in general here? Is he going to be too slow? Is he going to gas out? What if all of his takedowns get fucking stuffed and it's a striking battle? Is Rosas Jr. gonna get fucked up? I don't know, because this guy lost to Christian Rodriguez convincingly, and I understand people forget, man, that seems like fucking forever ago, and Rosas Jr. has already probably improved so much by then, but man, I kind of like this fight purely from a stylistic point of view. I'm very curious to see how Rosas Jr. can hang at kind of an upper level. It's one of these, young upcoming prospects that the UFC is a fan of. And it's like an O'Malley or a Joshua Van, and they kind of throw you in these spots, and you either sink or you swim. Like, if Rosas Jr. wins, boom, he's in the top 10, and that really shakes up the rankings. But if he loses, and I gotta assume he's gonna be a big underdog here, I'm clearly gonna be going with Rob Font here, okay? I would love for him to be an underdog. Would love for plus money on Rob Font. But ultimately, I just don't think at this point right now, Rosas Jr. has the necessary skills to hang with Rob Font. Rob Font is good, man. He's fucking solidly well-rounded. His takedown defense, sometimes it can be hit or miss, and his offensive grappling, it isn't all that, but again, Rosas Jr. is primarily a grappler. That's his bread and butter. That's what got him in the dance. He's going to try and drag Rob Font to the mats, but I think Rob Font is going to be too strong, too experienced, too solidly well-rounded on the defensive end of things, to where I think Rosas Jr., he's only 20 fucking years old. He can afford a loss here, and Rob Font has been consistently beating up a bunch of prospects, and I feel like that Gene Matsumoto could get I'm forgetting all the names here. All the prospects are blended up in my head like it's Rainbow Road in a blender. Gene Matsumoto is still getting wins, and I feel like he would give a lot of problems to a Rosas Jr. and probably beat him. So again, it's a bit of a random ass matchup here. It feels a bit forced, but I'm not going to completely hate on it. Like, we've been getting so many great fight announcements lately, and this is one that's so very random. It doesn't really make too much fucking sense. But Noche UFC needed this one bad. If you're looking at the card before this fight got announced, it's one of the weaker fight nights of this year, okay? But this kind of does help it. I gotta assume it's gonna be some kind of co-main event spot. The card needed this. And again, the fight's in like fucking 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know how long these guys have been prepping for it, but I'm clearly gonna be leaning with Rob Font. It's an interesting fight. There's good and bad to it, but it's a very interesting test for Rosas Jr. He can afford the loss, whereas I feel like Rob Font, at this point in his career, he fucking can't. I feel like he's gonna piece him up on the feet. Probably some kind of decision here for Rob Font via experience and his bald fucking head, okay? I don't even know why I had to diss him like that. I'm so sorry. But moving on now, man, to Davison Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. This is kind of like a banger of a fight I didn't even know I needed. Now, when I was looking at potential opponents for Figueiredo, maybe I'm thinking like a Sean O'Malley later in December or someone like that. Someone in that top 5 to 7, but I'm totally okay with Montel Jackson getting an opportunity in the top 7. The guy's one of the most underrated prospects pound for pound in the UFC. I get that he's a bit shy. I mean, I want to say that he's shy-spoken, but I've never even heard a fucking interview or anything. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's brash as fuck or something like that, but Montel Jackson, I feel like, doesn't have that kind of outside the cage presence, and he's not too active of a fighter. To where I feel like that's kind of why a lot of people don't talk about Montel Jackson, but the guy is good. Most of the time he's entertaining. He's a solid striker. He's all right in the clinch. The takedown defense is solid, and he's coming off of a win, a bit of a stinker fight, but it's a win over an undefeated, I believe it was Daniel Marcos, who isn't anything to write fucking home about, but I'm pretty sure last year, his last fight before that, he knocked out Damone Blackshear in like 10 fucking seconds or something like that. Some fucking ultra ego type shit, but Montel Jackson, he has the power advantage on the feet here. He's probably got the striking advantage. He's precise, he's clean with it, and I feel like his takedown defense might be solid enough to where if Figueiredo was going to try and drag him to the mat and spam a bunch of takedowns here, and as long as he's not showing the low fight IQ like he did against fucking Sandhagen, I feel like that the clear grappling advantage and how Figueiredo's going to want to win this fight is going to be to drag Montel Jackson to the ground. Montel Jackson, yes, some fights he can kind of get the fuck after it on the offensive end of things in the grappling, but I don't think he's going to be really shooting takedowns here. He has solid fight IQ. He's pretty kind of aware and adaptable to a lot of his opponents, and he goes into it knowing what the fuck is up, and he's solidly well-rounded enough to the point to where I think he'll be able to have solid enough takedown defense and solid enough experience, solid enough momentum on his side, and the striking advantage to be able to keep this fight standing, piece up Figueiredo, and I see him kind of winning here maybe, but honestly, I think ultimately I might go with Figueiredo. I just totally fucking blueballed y'all. I totally made it seem like I was going to go Montel Jackson. I'm sorry, but honestly, my early prediction is going to be Figueiredo here. I genuinely think that even though the fight is going to probably be standing, I don't know if Figueiredo is going to be super fucking successful at dragging Montel Jackson to the ground. I think he'll get a couple takedowns. A couple here and there. It's nothing to really ultimately completely sell him winning the fight, but I feel like Figueiredo's power at bantamweight. Just because he's had a couple losses now, he isn't a losing skid. I don't want to forget that people were saying, a fucking year or two ago. I mean, people forget, man. The sport moves on quick. It feels like yesterday people were saying that Figueiredo at bantamweight was the move, and Figueiredo at bantamweight, he's knocking down Cheeto, and he's fucking able to beat up Cody Garbrandt and shit like that. Like, he's a very good mold for bantamweight. And now all of a sudden he loses to Sandhagen and Jan, and people think he's shit for the weight class. I think that this is a winnable fight for Figueiredo. Now, Jackson, I feel like the lack of activity and the lack of experience at kind of the upper level in the UFC might come to bite him in the ass. When Jackson has kind of been fighting cans or jobbers or people that are just in between 10 and 15 even in the rankings, like good fighters like that, he does pretty well. But Figueiredo is really his first test of that kind of elite level. This is a former champion and a guy who can give a lot of problems to guys in the rankings. The power advantage, man, is fucking kind of there for Figueiredo. I feel like the precision, the accuracy, it probably does go to Montel Jackson. I feel like he's a bit more of the sniper, a bit more of the clean striker, but the power of Figueiredo, especially at fucking flyweight, now moving up to bantamweight, it really has moved up well. So I feel like even in a striking battle, you could argue that Figueiredo is going to be able to maybe crack Montel Jackson. Jackson's usually pretty durable, and again, he's going to favor a striking battle here. But man, people forget that Figueiredo does have a bit of solid enough and powerful enough striking to be able to hang in the pocket with Montel Jackson, and he'll probably avoid getting finished. It's hard to finish Figueiredo. He's kind of durable as fuck. It is doable. It can be done, but I don't think Jackson is that top 5 level yet. Maybe he is. He is the much younger fighter here, and I feel like he does have a fucking chance. He's got the reach and height advantage. He's going to be looming over him like Doflamingo looming over Lufa here, but my early prediction is going to be Figueiredo. I see myself maybe changing my mind on this one. I mean, Jesus, I literally had to switch up mid talking to y'all, but I'm going to be leaning towards Figueiredo. I do like this matchmaking, though. It kind of came out of left field, but I'm down for it, man, okay? And moving on to the last couple fights we got to talk about here. I don't have too much to say about these ones, but I appreciate them, okay? Vera versus Ayman Zahabi and Holland versus Mike Mallet are unpredictable fights, and they're good fights that are going to be primarily striking battles. I mean, I could see Holland and Mallet mixing up on the ground, and Zahabi, he's got decent ground and pound. He's got some solid takedowns here and there, but primarily we're dealing with a lot of fucking strikers here, okay? Mallet's got some solid KO power. He's got good finishing ability. Kevin Holland is well-rounded, okay? He's very hit or miss, but in general, the guy can fucking crack on the feet, and he's coming off of, I mean, he's had such an on and off year this year, but I feel like that's just fucking classic Kevin Holland at this point. Zahabi's coming off of a fantastic win over Aldo, which was not a fucking robbery, by the way. And Cheeto Vera, I feel like he's been a bit inactive as of late, and he hasn't looked too great in the grand scheme of things, but he's still in it. He could still fucking hang, and he's defending his top 7 spot. I fuck with the Vancouver card, man. Ayman Zahabi, I feel like, is pretty underrated. I feel like he got kind of too much shit from the Aldo fight. I'm sorry that you had to fucking beat up a legend, but it was a very entertaining fight, and he didn't have to Mario Batista his way to beating Jose Aldo. It was a fun fight. It was primarily a striking battle, and the dude fucking survived Aldo's soccer kick from hell in the 3rd round and came back and beat him up with brutal elbows for the rest fucking 4 minutes of the fight. So Zahabi really earned my respect and kind of made me lean into I don't even know how to word this, starting to become a little bit of a, not a fan, but really respecting Ayman Zahabi, looking at that win streak a little bit differently, man, okay? Zahabi, I fuck with this opportunity for him, and it's a very winnable fight for Cheeto Vera as well. I feel like it's going to be a striking battle. Vera takes too long to warm up in the fight, though. I feel like Zahabi's going to set a pretty heavy pace, so probably try and kind of maintain the distance, a little bit of pepper jabs in the first opening goings in the early round, but once round 2 hits, I feel like Zahabi's really going to fucking really start to take over even more. Vera obviously grows into the fight, but I feel like it's going to be a bit of a stand and bang battle here that might favor Zahabi. Both these guys kind of are reaching. Okay, never mind. Wow, okay, Cheeto Vera is 32 years old. Zahabi is the young, okay? I genuinely thought that Cheeto Vera has been fucking alive for centuries now, but Jesus, he's only 32 years old. So it's the prospect in Zahabi that is the much older fighter here. So man, maybe Zahabi, he kind of peaked with that Aldo win, we don't know. I love unpredictable fights. I think that Vera versus Zahabi is very unpredictable, and I think Holland versus Mallet is even more unpredictable. I don't know who's going to fucking win that one, but I dig the matchmaking. I actually did a fights to make next after whatever card it was. It was sometime, Holland has fought so much I don't even fucking know, but I thought booking him against Mike Mallet in Vancouver would have been a good idea. It makes sense timing-wise, because then if he wants to get, I believe, 6 fights in this year, that was his goal, he could still have room in December, win or lose against Mallet, okay? But it's a great fight. Both guys are solidly well-rounded. I could see Mike Mallet choking in Canada once again, but we don't fucking know, because Kevin Holland, if there's anyone that's going to be more missed than hit or miss, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's going to be him. So I dig all these fights, man. October, has the potential to be the best fucking month as a UFC fan, and right before the Paramount deal as well. So we hopefully are going to be eating fucking good, boys. I'm very happy with these fight announcements, man. Love the Vancouver main event. Fucking Chiweebi's getting a top 10 opportunity, man. It's crazy shit, okay? It's the best time to be a UFC fan apparently right now. We're going to have to deal with kind of the rough month of September because there's no pay-per-view, but there's some some solid fight nights. So it is what the fuck it is, okay? Thank y'all so very much for making it this far in the video. Leave your opinions in the comments below. Who are you going with to win these matchups, and what are your overall thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it, man. And in general, please give this video a like. Please hit subscribe. And thank you so very much for giving me your time and attention and making it this far in the video, okay? Really appreciate y'all. Hope you have a good one, boys. All the smoke here. And I will see you all next time.